so I'm not gonna acknowledge them if they show up or anything. But they're planning on like showing up to our 6-month event tomorrow to hold me accountable. Okay, please try.
Okay, we're going live. Going live. Should be live any second. And go.
Yes.
And go. And go.
So we're already live.
Are we up? Go. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shit. I should have asked if I had an ad to play on the stream today.
No.
Okay. Well, that's easy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Yahtzee Tries, where I play a couple of new indie games and give my opinions on them. And our
Games
first...
you've never touched before.
No, not at all. And our first game that I will be trying out is this little thing called Starstruck Vagabond, made by some dude who used to be a big wig like 15 years ago.
Those washed up game critics, man.
I know, they keep popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Donkey's publishing games now. There's probably some other examples that don't immediately leap to mind.
No, Danny O'Dwyer's and his team are making their own game.
Oh, I hadn't heard.
Yeah, like a destruction derby type game, racing game. They did it actually. They did a really interesting video about trying to approach publishers during this current time when publishers don't want to give out money for anything.
For some reason, I had a flash of insight just then, but I think this console name entering feature was probably created right after this game was showcased at the Mix event, and no one could enter their name because it was being run on a fucking Steam Deck or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, that was fun. You were kind of freaking out when we were trying to set that up.
You mean the creator probably was?
Yeah. Yeah, the yachts, not Croatia. All right, so some people are asking you're starting from a brand new save so that you don't spoil anything. Correct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. E1 Crazy for Life donated $5. Says, what rules do you think should be in place for creators reviewing their own creations in order for them to provide more objective opinions?
Well, I think they should just pretend the entire stream they don't know who made the game. I think that would be a very interesting notional device.
It was suggested this morning for Yahtzee to wear a fake mustache.
Hello, my name is Fartsy Smoshaw.
Alex Armstrong. It's $2. Survived a Texan tornado and made it to the stream. Yeah, there's been way too many tornadoes this year.
You know what? I'm so confident I'm going to skip the tutorial.
Whoa. Probably a good idea. Estefan Costa donates $5. Says, Nick, any thought about Second Wind publishing other games? Gaming needs better publishers.
We've thought about it, haven't we?
Yeah, so I mean, Second Wind, the media side won't publish games, but like my ultimate goal down the line is to have a publishing arm of Second Wind, and Starstruck Vagabond was kind of a test of that process, helping launch and strategize and market for a game.
And how do you think it went?
Are you okay with saying how many copies have been sold so far?
Is that public knowledge?
Nah, nobody's made it public yet. I'm asking if you want to make it public.
I guess you could say it.
Well, we've sold over 7,000 copies so far, so it's doing good.
Oh, that's pretty good for an indie
That's
game.
That's very good. When I was talking to another consulting client of mine this morning, it was like, yeah, we hit above 5,000. He's like, oh man, I would lose my shit if I did that.
I guess it's hard to stand out on Steam these days.
It is.
Being an internet commenter certainly helps.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as second win publishing games down the line, definitely something I want to do. We
Well, it
had
certainly,
invest.
yeah, certainly I'm invested in indie games as a
Yeah,
concept. I
we
want
had
them to be good.
we had investors interested in second win media when we started up, but I ended up not taking any of them on because we didn't want any constraints on that. But makes a lot more sense to take on investors if we go to the publishing side because actually pay them back.
It says just quickly assemble a look. Oh yeah, look at that horrible clashing shirt.
Stefan Costa donates another $5. Says Nick, if you guys get into publishing successfully and are the opposite of Bobby Kotick, I always like saying his name is Bobby. I just think it's funny.
Bobby Kotick.
Bobby. You'd be the sexiest man in gaming.
Well, you certainly need to reinvent yourself lately.
Shit. Lots of guys want to beat me up right now. Fine.
Yeah. This is why I stay out of internet drama.
They pulled a out of context message from our Discord where I was talking about people who make threats behind anonymous accounts and slurs and insults at me, and I was like, that's something they would never say to you to your face. That was fun. Blue version, £2 says in a fully Ramblematic, this would be called Starstruck Vagina Wank.
Yeah, probably.
There's a lot of people that really want you to do a fully Ramblematic, and I'm like, I don't want to give the people that cry about ethics and journalism any ammo.
No, I think doing it in this format would be more fun.
Yeah.
Because then we can just slot it in alongside 3 other reviews.
Jonathan Ross says Nick was on a lot more streams lately this week. Yeah, and just it kind of just worked out that way. I kind of forgot I had a sponsored stream yesterday, and I had signed on to do Better with Friends with Frost and Will because I wanted to see what X Defiant was all about, and then signed on for this, and then I kind of forgot we had Firelink tonight too. So
that little prompt that says delivery begun.
Yeah.
That, I think I want to say, with my psychic insight into this game's designer, that was probably one of the very last things added to the game. When they realised they needed a little more of an indicator that a delivery had started.
Really cool. This is a planet I haven't seen before, and I've watched you and other people play this game a bunch, obviously. I've never seen those little rocks on a planet yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of procedural shit going on. You only get like certain kinds of planet layouts in each quadrant of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And it's randomized at the start.
What's been the hardest bug you've had to fix since we launched it?
Oh, I'll tell you a really hard one to find. There was a bug that made it when you surveyed like a planet in the very first sector of the game. Then every time you quit the game and reloaded it, it would mysteriously get unsurveyed again. So it fucked with everyone's completion percentages. And it took me ages to figure out what was causing it. But what it was that that specific planet and also some planets in the sectors near the egg in the center of the galaxy are hard-coded. Like that particular planet is hard-coded to be an uncivilized planet for like tutorial purposes. And because of that, it's all the other planets that are uncivilized are in the second half of the planet list. The first half of the planet list is all the civilized planets, and the second half is all the uncivilized ones. But this one specific planet in the first sector is in the first half of the numbers. Alright? Got with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. I had an issue with the save files where I had to when a planet's number was less than 3 digits, I had to make it a 3-digit number, adding to like 2 zeros at the start. Because otherwise it would get confused with other bits of data. But for some reason, I forgot to add additional 2 digits to the planet surveyed flags. So what that meant was that any planet number that had 1 or 2 digits, if you surveyed them, it wouldn't get saved. And of course, since most of the planets that were surveyable were in the second half of the planet list, of the 300 planets, all of them that weren't hard-coded to be wild had 3 digits. And that's why those specific planets were unsurveying themselves after quick and reload. Phew.
I don't know what it is about working with like code and tech and all that, but it's always like those very simple things that are the hardest little problems to find.
I know, right?
And it's annoying. Like complicated problems, no problem. Like, well, you know, aside from spending the time figuring out how to make it or fix it, but then those little problems, like when you're designing CSS or HTML or whatever,
yes,
like, what is causing this shit? It's like one line of code.
I had to go through the save files text with a little fine-tooth comb, and I happened to be in the right mood to notice that the surveyed flags only had 1 digit rather than 3.
And
it took me, and I think it took me like a day for that, like in the back of my mind, before I realized, oh wait, it's supposed to have 3 digits, and that's when it all fell into place.
And then you go take a big nap.
Certainly did.
Nexic, it's $5, says Daniel Henderson was a true villain of your Galaxy series, wasn't he? A character so useless that he's more dangerous than anyone else.
I suppose you could say that. Yes, I mean, it's an interesting concept, the character who's like the villain because they're stupid. I mean, the person who like does bad things because they've decided to, you can sort of reason with them. But what can you do about someone who might accidentally cause the end of the world? You can't reason someone into not being stupid.
Literally just had that conversation with the lawyer this morning. You can't reason with stupid, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Good advice for social media. Alex Armstrong doing his $5 says, Yachts, you wanted your next game BRTV... hold on, there's a comment there. Yachts, you wanted your next game BRTV inspired, but is that idea you mentioned in Dev Diary about making a full game of the Cleaner still up in the air?
It's in the back of my mind. I'd want it to be a full-on, like, story-based RPG sort of thing in a sort of Undertale direction, but I haven't really got the energy for that sort of thing right now. Okay, what do we want to do?
DMB Lon 99 on his $5 says, when we get the edited Yahtzee tries, we need more Yahtzee and Co spliced over anime clips, like the one with over JoJo's.
Yeah, Jesse likes those little gags.
He does.
Those and Simpsons clips. It's like the internet's universal language.
Enrico. Boy, I'm going to butcher this last name. Miglaroni. Donates €2. Oh, a pixel artsy indie game. Original. Just kidding. Congrats.
Yeah, it's easier to make pixel art look halfway decent. Here's an interesting insider coding fact. The wild planets are all seeded based on their planet number. So since this tutorial planet in the first sector always has the same number, the position for the surveying device will always be the same. It's right here. There's a little tip for you speedrunners out there.
Since people are asking about speedrunning, is your game, do you consider your game speedrunnable?
It's hard to say what will be a speedrunnable game. I wouldn't have said Minecraft was a speedrunnable game, but it's a really big speedrun game, that one.
Yeah, but I guess with like the time to travel the planets, because that can vary too, right? Because that's procedural.
Yep. The entire space galaxy layout is procedural. Although, as I say, the layouts of the planets are seeded based on the number of the planet. So this specific planet, will always be laid out like this. Although the colours might change.
Yeah, Denmark donates $5 says Yahtzee. Please say Hole is a little bitch and Magu is the best companion. I need validation for my opinion on the silly space game.
Hole is a little bitch and Magu is the best companion. I don't know. I think my waifu would be Cassandra Kairos. She's always the one I thought I'd find hottest. I think one of my favourite characters, all waifu preference aside, was probably Syl, the snake girl. And she's probably the hardest crew member to find, so that's a shame, but never mind.
My audio is still peaking. Okay. I'll fix that on my end. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. Man, I keep having to change my audio stuff because when I bought this new computer, I forgot to change my input volume. So my input volume has been 65, 75% the whole time. So I fixed that. Then my input volume on OBS was too loud. So I had to fix that last night. Now my Discord input volume's too loud.
Yeah, there's some program or other keeps fucking with the volume of my mic. I have to keep double checking it in my sound settings.
I think it's Audacity.
I don't use Audacity.
Oh.
I use Goldwave.
It still might be Audacity. Luxabel Jaeger donates $10 says a couple of friends and I only own consoles. So no Starstruck Vagabond for us. But you have at least 3 copies sold if it's ever ported. Cheers, Yahtzee. Congrats on the launch.
Well, I did
get contacted by porters this week. So.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be at meetings somewhere further down the line.
Yes.
I think we might have to work on localization as well. But because I was
the developers in the chat, tell them how your dialogue is made.
Yes. Let's say I was a worse programmer before I did the 12 months and 12 games. All the text strings in this game are hard-coded in all the code, so it would be a bitch to translate. Not impossible, but still a bitch. So if you are a publisher or would like to extend a hand to help us localize / port the game, then please bear in mind I'm going to ask you to help out with that and whether or not you'd be prepared to do so.
Montequilla donates £5. Says, how many planets does Starstruck have? A Starfield number of planets or a number of planets Starfield should have had to be a good game? Sorry, Todd.
There are precisely 300 planets in every seed galaxy of Starstruck Vagabond. All procedurally generated, except for the first few in the first sector, which are hard-coded for tutorial reasons.
Time glitch up makes that ask why that makes the dialogue hard to translate. It doesn't make it hard to translate, it makes it hard to pull it all out of the code.
Yeah, and
it's all mixed together.
Well, you can pull it out easily enough. It's putting it back in that's the pain in the ass.
Yeah. I'm sure a porter would be able to figure out how to do it correctly.
Because this game has a lot of dialogue in weird places because it's got so much stuff that changes based on your personality type and what crew members you've got.
Some audio here because Lucas says I'm too quiet.
Music's good, isn't it?
Be able to buy the soundtrack separately in a few days.
Oh yeah, well, in about a week or so. We wanted to release the soundtrack alongside the game, but that ran into some admin difficulties, but it'll be out soon.
We got it all approved in Steam today.
Oh, cool. Music's by, of course, Sam Horton and Joe Collinson, 2 very talented fellas who did the music for BPM Bullets Per Minute. Reached out to me after I praised that game. That's why game critics are in a good position to make indie games, it turns out.
Then, believe them, they already released the soundtrack on Spotify, too.
Oh, yeah, you can pick it up there if you want.
Common Ninja donates $2, says, bug NPC model invisible like AC Unity. Please fix.
Oh, that's a joke about Hole. I think that's a joke referring to Hole.
John Brooks donates 20 pounds. Says, Nick, how do you feel about having watched Yachts on ZP in high school and now being producer publisher of his games? Enjoying Starstruck immensely. Congrats on the 7K sales. I gotta be honest. I didn't watch ZP in high school. I was working on my own site in high school.
Well, fuck you then.
Yeah, I didn't. I would have been working on only single player, onlysp.com in high school from 2012 to 2016, and then I shut that. Well, I sold that website, and then started Gamementary. So yeah, I didn't read a lot of other games media when I was doing my own stuff all the time. And I graduated from high school in 2017.
Christ, that makes me feel old.
No, I didn't graduate in 2017. I graduated in high school in 2013 because I graduated college in 2017.
That doesn't help. Oh, we've...
You're welcome.
I dropped out of school at 16, and I did it in 16. That would have been 1999.
Hey. You know what? I was young enough to still be in school when we still had flip phones, and I remember growing up with dial-up, if that helps. My grandma's computer had dial-up still.
Yeah, I remember dial-up fondly. 3 crates of bananas. Yeah, I could fit that into the schedule.
But I guess to answer that question, John, pretty dope. Like, first credit in a video game, and I've immediately gone from working on this with Yahtzee to I had a meeting with a new client today for consulting, and I'll have another meeting on Friday for consulting clients. So just getting my feet wet. I want to do a lot of consulting and helping launch games for practice for my own publishing ambitions. When I'm not poor after paying for an expensive fence.
Be the change you want to see in the world. Can't complain about AAA publishers being assholes forever.
I think I've just covered enough indie games over my years that I covered before anybody else, and then they got picked up by publishers and became really big. Enrico. Alright. You pronounced your name for me. Thank you. Enrico Miorini. Why do you have L's in there? Donates €2 to help me pronounce their name. That still doesn't make sense to me. Hannibal R.
Racist.
Donates $2. Says, who would you cast to voice each crew member?
Well, can I do Hole? Can that be my cameo? Either me or Will Arnett for Hole. There you go. Well, let's do some more deliveries later. I got shit to do.
Who would you get Danny DeVito in as? The lawyer.
I'd put him in as Mr. Clay.
There we go. All right.
The dude who's in a vending machine.
Eric gives us 50 Rs. Says, I use virtual cable to avoid software to tinker, lock my mic's driver setting, just set to listen to the output and use the input as the new mic device. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do that.
Fair enough.
I think I've messed with that virtual cable software, and it makes me mad every time I use it. Milan 99 for $1 says, Yachts, do you have any thoughts or comments on fellow gaming OG YouTube people like the AVGN who are still around like you?
I was never much a fan for that sort of really over-the-top, shouty, sweary YouTuber. I prefer a slightly more refined turn of phrase. Not wishing to sound like a snob.
Yeah, I really never...
I find to listen to, I prefer the more sort of thoughtful stuff like White Light or Ross Scott.
Wahuni on his 35 Czar says, fixed a bug today in a game I'm working on. Took 2 days to find the bug, 20 seconds to decide which solution to use, and a full 5 seconds to fix it. Right. Blue Version says, Nick, what do you mean consulting? I thought you were a full-time director here. I am. I'm also doing consulting work on the side, not connected to Second Wind.
Well, you gotta have side hustles in this day of unreliable economies.
Yeah.
I've got like money coming in from like 9 different things.
Blizzard sold. That was £2.
Oh,
Says,
bum! Fucking asteroids. Alright, what did I ruin this time?
should be a pro at your own game. Let's go. Blister sold donates £2. Says, congrats on the success, guys. 2 of the 7K army.
Oh shit, we're moving! And we're still in the asteroid belt. Phew.
We've been Dragon member for 6 months. Tip Jar says, I won't be there to terrorize you tomorrow in golf, Nick. Be glad. Dang it. I've been holding out for revenge on you, Pendragon, since whenever the last time we played golf with your friends was. Maybe a year ago already, because it's already been 6 months of Second Wind, which, by the way, tomorrow, Thursday, starting at 10 a.m. Come join us for our 6-month celebration event. That stream page will be up tonight. We'll be kicking it off with a fun video at the start, announcing a bunch of new stuff, showing off some stuff you've been waiting for, new merch, new announcements. I think I said that first one twice. Fine. And then we'll kick off 9 hours of games from there with, I think we're kicking everything off with Fall Guys and Gang Beasts. Then the Dokapon guys will be back for 3 hours. Then we'll First Class Golf with Your Friends, and then wrap the night up with First Class Trouble, which Yahtzee will be there for.
Yeah. You like picking on me in First Class Trouble, it turns out.
I'm the one that gets thrown out of the ship every round.
Yeah, I used to happen to
be
in Among Us a lot.
You're more sarcastic than I am.
Yeah, that's why I tended to get thrown out in Among Us all the time.
So I have to have you in First Class Trouble because our sarcasm balances each other out sometimes. Or at least they'll throw you out instead of me first. I have a chance to run away before they do it.
Alright, getting fueled up.
Robert Fortune donates $5, says, thanks for putting out this game, Yachts. Life has been a real twat lately, and the dopamine is much appreciated.
You're welcome.
And Rose Delta, who's actually one of the QA testers on the game, hello, donates $2, says, I call voicing second.
Oh, I always picture second sounding like Winnie the Pooh. So, whoever they get to voice Winnie the Pooh these days. I think it's Jim Cummings these days. Oh, banana bread.
Snake in the Garden asks Nick, which time slot will the new show's announcement be? We have like a, if you remember back at the Escapists, we would do like fun edited videos to like share updates and all that. It'll be right at the start of the stream tomorrow. We're basically kicking everything off with all the announcements to get it out of the way.
You know, there's three like overripe bananas in the kitchen at the moment, and I was saying to the wife, I should probably make banana bread one of these days. And she gave me a funny look, and then the next day, like, this huge parcel of baked goods arrived that she'd already ordered for my birthday, like ages ago. So, oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're all very nice, but now banana bread feels slightly redundant.
Did it come with banana bread?
No, I had pretty much everything else. Muffins, scones, cinnamon rolls.
You're on that diet, so you can't have it all.
Sticky buns. Well, I guess I'm taking a little break to get through all this. Like I had one of the sticky buns this morning with my coffee. I thought, that was tasty. Let me just check the calorie count on that. I was like, oh well, that's my entire limit for the day gone.
It was when I had my birthday in March. My mom ordered me a dozen of those crumble cookies, not realizing that they're like really big and rich. And I was like, "There's no way I'm finishing these all. I won't get out of bed again."
Deliveries. Stina Prime.
Jonathan Ross says, when you play First Class Trouble, Nick, remember not everyone can be killed with a well-timed glass throw. Well, Jesse's just a magnet for that. It's kind of funny. I think that's still my favorite clip we've uploaded as a short, is when I try to throw the glass at Amy and it knocks Jesse into the Venus flytrap. his reactions. Oh man, that face. Yeah, go watch our shorts if you haven't. There's some funny shorts, including Marty's mine mishap. Magimix 2000 donates £10. Says console versions win when we get a publisher for it.
Yeah, I don't know how to port Game Maker games to Switch. I mean, I'm sure this game would get on well on Switch. But we're going to need outside help for that one, for sure.
Hannibal R. donates $2. Says, are companions you find based on the seed?
No. In fact, I'm setting things up to get, like, the specific companion I want right now. The companion you get is based on what specific action you perform that triggers a companion story. Like, when the quest objective says adventure as you see fit until Dripper gets back in touch, that means we're in the first sort of catchment period. And so we'll start on a crew member's story as soon as we do something that triggers one. And one of the triggers, without wishing to spoil anything, is to go to a planet in a sector that doesn't have any civilized planets. So, I'm on my way to do that.
What have you thought about the people in the Discord kind of playing it together? And it looks like I think I saw last night they made like a wiki.
Yeah, they're making spreadsheets. It's gratifying to see. I've always been kind of jazzed at the thought of people speedrunning my games. It's just nice to see.
Ten7 donates $10. Says, if there's ever a voice part for someone that sounds like Lemmy from Motorhead singing, but with a New York accent, I can oblige.
Well, bear that in mind.
Do you think, are you gonna stick with Pixel for your next game, or are you ever gonna try 3D?
I'm working on, because I don't really trust my own ability to make art from scratch, I'm working on using like a sort of photo collage system, where I like use photos and sort of jigger them a bit in Photoshop. But that's like results in a highly specific sort of art style. But I want to see what I can do with it.
Blistered Soul donates £2. Says, pass speech check. Got Starstruck Vagabond on my boss's wish list.
Oh, nice.
Mandalorian donates $2. Says, was this will save references always intended?
Oh yes. I mean, in the like alpha of the game, the character's default name is Jacques McKeown. It was absolutely a reference because I like referencing my own shit. Fuck you. If I can't do it, who can?
Should have had El Cheshire make like some pixel art versions of your books that you could put on shelves in the ship.
In fact, one of the NPC crew members you can get, Sarge, my first idea for him was that he would be a dog person. And he would resemble my first dog, Pepper. So that was the pun, you see. Sergeant Pepper. But then I figured that would probably get in the way of my intended joke for the character, which was that he's like an FPS protagonist, taking part in an FPS that's going on off-screen, separate from the game you're playing.
Carmine72, I missed a couple things on Twitch, catching up with there. Gifted a sub over there, thank you very much. And Derek91 used 100 bits, says, I think the only thing I've wanted consistently during my time playing was a dedicated all-stop button when piloting the ship.
I'm just, at the moment I'm gathering fuel from, like, junk balls, because every other fuel gathering method risks setting off a crew story that I'm trying to not get.
Now that the now that the game is out, I'm sure you've read like all the Steam user reviews and all that. Cause it's hard not to
Yeah,
look at reviews for your own stuff. Is there anything like
90% positive, pretty good.
Is there anything that you take from those reviews that you're like, man, I kind of wish I did that for the game?
Well, never say die. I've actually like taken a few notes for like a 1.1 update that I'm probably going to do maybe like a month down the line. Just like a big, hey, thanks for supporting the game early on. So I've got a list of not so much fixes as sort of quality of life improvements and extra features that I'd like to throw in that wouldn't be too much hard work. One thing I want to do is add, like one thing that was suggested in the Discord was to have alternative dialogues with the character after you've romanced them. So that they can, you know, that reflects the fact that you're shagging them. So I'm probably going to work on that over the course of the next month.
Okay. Man, that's the thing I'm scared about for making a game is like releasing it, just feeling like, man, I can add this, and I can add this, and I can add this. And at some point, you gotta say, all right, it's done.
Yeah, you want to avoid that. We didn't get overwhelmingly positive reviews, as Uzwain. 90% I don't think is overwhelmingly positive. But I always knew this game would be polarizing, you know? Some people don't like the, you know, the slow pace, the busy work.
Yeah, that's, you know, when I was marketing it, I really tried to push that I tried to push a lot more that it was much more narrative driven over just being a Stardew Valley, you know, like I guess.
Oh shit, I didn't want this cruise story. Damn it. Hang on, I'll just reload a save.
Yeah, this was a hard first game to market, not gonna lie, just because of so many different things.
Yeah, I feel you.
People would ask me questions about it, and I'm like, I'm trying to explain it the best I can, but it's so many, you know, it's narrative driven, it's got life sim stuff, it's got cooking, it's got romance, it's got ship flying.
Well, just say it's like Stardew Valley, but in space. That's what I did.
Yeah. I guess. Later. It's 70s and says, hi, Yahtzee. How did you implement the selection menu? Turn ship, ram, scoop, engage back using the directional pad, and how is it handled when the screen scales? Boy, that's a very technical question.
I'm not sure how to answer it, actually. Well, it's just that when you've got the console up, the main character's movement is stopped with a flag, so the directional buttons will only work for the console now.
Blue version says, what's your overall sales target for this, and how much of a cut does Second Wind get?
Well, I didn't really have a sales target. It's, I just hope it'll do all right. I think you said you would like to see it get to 10k?
Yeah, I'm gonna be, before the sale's up, I'm gonna be pushing it hard over the next 2 days probably to try to get it to 10,000 copies.
Yeah.
I think we're on track to hit it. Because before I went to bed last night, it was like 6,200 copies.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's gonna hit that inevitably at some point, I'd say.
Yeah. First week sales at 10,000 copies would be awesome.
First week? Yeah. I wouldn't be so hold out too much hope for first week. But I'd say, you know, first month, probably, easily.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Second Wind is just acting as the marketing partner for it, so when we do our financial report at the end of the next month, because we do them quarterly now, we're only taking 5% cut of the sales. So it won't be a huge drop for us, but
well, you didn't do much.
Yeah,
I made the whole game.
And that's why we only take it 5%.
Okay, now don't hit any asteroids. Hitting an asteroid is one of the crew triggers.
My screen flashbanging me. Yeah, I was switching tabs to check on something. Denmark donates $10, says Magu's lines are already pretty thirsty. Post-romance dialogue would probably consist of either her normal dialogue with the word again added or comparing you to her first love. And I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay. That's
Well,
not.
I'm not going to spoil it.
That's not a spoiler for the game.
Oh, is it?
That was a joke on Denmark's part. I think they were making a, anime girl tentacle rape joke.
I'm waiting for us to get that Steam Deck verified. Shouldn't be too long now.
I've stumbled upon a planet that's important in the plot later. And that probably means this. I can't get the crew quest I'm after. Shit.
Miss Miko donates $2, says traveling back home, can't wait to play it. And Shinzu Akachi donates £5, says damn, missed the start of the stream, just want to say I'm really enjoying Superman Velociraptor, and I was not prepared for Maku.
People rarely are.
Sean Harriman says, have there been any big outlets to review Starstruck Vagabond?
Well, Screen Rant did it.
Yeah,
very early on.
Reviewed it. Hardcore Gamer reviewed it.
Hang on a sec.
I don't think any other major outlets have covered it yet. I know Skillup has code, and he was going to check it out. I don't know if he'll do a video on it, but he's got it. Of course, Scave H Bomber got code.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think neither Yahtzee or I were expecting much press coverage of it. Really wasn't worried too much about it.
Oh, bloody warp rings. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah, Big Chill says I've been playing Starstruck. Is there a way I can report a bug I have? Now, the main ways to do it is the Steam forums, or if you're a patron, we have a Discord thread tracking all of that. I did send Eurogamer a code quoting. I think I set most of the big press code, but I didn't have much expectation for them to check it out.
No. There's so many games.
Yeah, Miroslav, Yahtzee's playing his own game, so we can talk about how it was made a little bit.
Crazy.
We can do that now, because we're independent.
Yeah. We don't have investors getting shirty when we plug things that they don't make money from. Oh Christ, this is... Yeah, I know. The fucking dust storms. Alright, let's go explore a planet.
Put features in your own game that would annoy you, didn't you?
Well, it's not supposed to be a complete walk in the park. Aha! Found her.
Any anticipated blowback from other devs with an unhappy history with Yahtzee? No, most were congratulating on releasing the game that I saw, and I did try to get John Romero to do a guest fully emblematic for it. I reached out.
You didn't actually ask him, did you? I'm a little embarrassed now.
I did ask a couple times. Yeah, I just never got a reply to the email. I don't know if he checks his own website email, because the only time I've gotten to interact with him was through PRs. Stanley Ross, it's 100 Czech krona. says, congrats on release and getting towards that 10K target. Exporting to Mac Linux might be an easy way to get some extra numbers. Wink, wink.
So this particular story campaign, sort of like story episode, I came up with because I wanted to make something a bit indie horror-y. I just felt like doing that. So I themed it around this character, who's like a snake who bites you and makes you hallucinate. Like they say, find the egg. That's the clue, to find an egg and pick it up and carry it with you.
Are the rocks moving in the hallucination there? Sean Harriman, $90 says, hear me out. 6 games in 12 months. Miss the Dev Diaries.
Not while I've got kids under 4 in the house.
Yeah. You did that like right around the perfect time, didn't you?
Pretty much.
Joseph Eastham, $20 says, love that Vagabond got Helldiver aero computers.
Sure.
Yeah, Sean Harriman, if you like the Dev Diary stuff, we're not announcing anything tomorrow regarding it. We maybe have something cooking there.
So all the snake people talking like stereotypical California Valley girl voices? I have to find ways to make it more fun to write.
I'm really glad we got El Cheshire to make the actual character portraits.
Yeah, they've certainly helped spruce things up a bit.
Yeah.
But they also did the exterior spaceship art and some of the backgrounds. Well, all of the backgrounds for Civilized Planets.
How long did it take you to implement all those portraits for the dialogue lines?
A while.
Yeah.
For a while I was just adding them on the fly as I was writing the dialogue. I had to add an extra bit of text to each string to indicate which image it should be throwing up.
And when you were doing that, did you happen to pull all the text out for localizers?
No.
Man.
Oh no, Syl is a victim of Mean Girls.
You're gonna have looked at that dialogue so much and messed with it so much, you'll be able to recite this game from memory.
A lot of it. But, you know, a lot of dialogue changes based on which NPC crew member you have.
Yeah.
And what your main character's personality type is. So there's a lot that still takes you by surprise every now and again.
Denmark, $2 says, California snakes were undeniable. And Blue Version, £2, says, it's a shame Kess and Yachts no longer play things.
Kess plays things, just not with me.
Are you guys currently playing co-op games or anything together?
Nah, she likes different things. She's playing Elder Scrolls Online at the moment. It's not really my cup of tea.
Oh, that's a game that people get addicted to. Miss Tanner, $2 says, Yachts, I love this game. Well done.
You're welcome, Elise Tanner. Thank you very much. I like to think it's pretty good myself.
Chuck
Don't
says
keep.
I ruined Denmark's joke. Oh no. You know how hard it is to read a joke that on a super chat? Like reading the super chat as you're reading the joke. You try it. Kaminaja actually asked a good question. Has Kess played Starstruck Vagabond?
Yeah, she had a little go. I don't think it's her kind of thing, though. As I say, I expect it to be polarizing. I guess my intention making the game was to make a game that I would really like to play, with the sort of things I like, and I feel like I did that. And I think that's all you can do, really. Otherwise, you're just, you know, trying to appeal to an audience you don't really get.
I don't feel like Starstruck Vagabond has been super polarizing, to be honest. Like most of the user reviews all pretty much hit the points that the QA testers hit. Love the writing. A lot of people that didn't like a lot of the QA testers that did the game couldn't get into like stuff like Stardew Valley, but because of the narrative in this, were able to get into this.
Well, there's 10% negative reviews on Steam, and most of them were just like, it's boring, busy work, don't like.
No, it says life sim. Lives are boring.
Well, there you go. Even space lives.
Yeah, I think that's my problem with like Stardew Valley and a lot of the farm sims. Is like they just don't have a story that I get invested in. And, like I need a reason to kind of move forward more than just the economy aspect.
Well, there is a story in Stardew Valley. It's kind of in the background, but that's one of the influences I took for this game, because every now and again, as you build up your relationship in Stardew Valley, you'll just walk into a room and like there'll be a story cutscene with one of the townsfolk. And I found it interesting that you feel more invested in that because you've been sort of working this sort of work-a-day drill for so long with no changes. And then, hey, here's this nice surprise every now and again.
I'm really waiting for like a big game with the level of like Sims interaction with other NPCs to hit that farm maker market. Because I don't feel like, I don't know, maybe My Time in Sandrock has kind of hit that. Have you tried that yet, by the way?
Sandrock?
Yeah, My Time in Sandrock.
Can't say I have, to be honest. I played My Time at Porsche. I hear Sandrock is pretty popular.
Yeah, and they just announced... Did they announce it? I need to make sure I'm not breaking apart. When you're out of the... We're not in the normal press game anymore. Oh yeah, the DLC is already out. They just did a Monster Whisperer DLC, so they've added like creature companion kind of Pokemon stuff into the game now.
Blimey.
That game's got everything. It's got the farming, the survival crafting, the creature collecting. It even has like RPG kind of combat when you go exploring dungeons and stuff.
See, I'd worry about losing your game's identity a bit if you had too many features.
When I've played it, it all kind of ties together at least. I think My Time at Sandrock is one of the more interesting and better ones I've played. Also, the writing is very funny in that game too.
Okay.
Which that surprised me. I was not like expecting the characters to make me laugh as much as they did like right away, because you get like a lot of like they make a lot of fun of like capitalism and stuff in it.
Right.
Garg says Nick sounds like he's 24. That's what people said about me when I was 18 and I had a deep voice.
Just picking up some fuel. Don't mind me. Weird story planet with huts on it. Another of the very last things to add to the game was the throwing mechanics.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Because that wasn't even in at the GDC Mix event. Because I remember it's hit me after that event.
That's something you and Jay discussed, I think.
Yeah, we were walking on our way somewhere, and I was saying to Jay, "Hey, what do you think about adding throwing mechanics to the game?" And he was like, "Yeah, that seemed like it would be a good idea." So I did.
Yeah, if I remember that conversation, was because you wanted people to be able to move faster on planets.
Yeah, sort of.
To blow things up quicker. Someone says my time at games main toll is the kind of work you do on your farm. Feels like you wouldn't at least mention that part. I mentioned the farming. I just haven't played enough of my time at Sandrock to get into that. I played a good chunk a couple months ago, and I just got busy with other stuff and didn't stick with it. I still haven't even gotten to play Pacific Drive.
I recommend that. It's fun, especially if you like a post-ad game. I think there's a lot of comparisons between it and Starstruck Vagabond, actually. Mm.
Since you're such a writer, like, have you ever thought about doing like a 3D, narrative walking simulator game? Finding your own twist on it.
I used to make point-and-click adventure games, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like 3D version though.
Well, I don't really like working in 3D.
Right.
But not really, because I find as a designer I'm more interested in the potential of the point in between interactive elements and narrative.
Yeah.
I think that's always interested me most.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It was like, I feel like if you were to mess with the walking sim genre, you'd find a way to make the mechanics at least more interesting.
Well, if I did that, I would want to be like sort of deconstructive walking sim, and then I'd just be making the Stanley Parable.
I don't think anybody complained about having more of those.
Well,
Fungus Finder donates $2, says, "Wait, are the system names different per new game?" Yeah, they're all randomized.
Yeah, I had to add some filters because there was the possibility of them being a slur.
Somebody. Oh, man, my eyes perked up real quick when I saw that Twitter post. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
I think the only thing that annoyed me about that was they notified us in the Discord, but then they also notified us publicly on Twitter. It's like, you already notified us, let us fix it.
I think they were on Twitter first, as I recall.
You're coming up on 3 minutes.
Oh. Well, better get this delivery mission finished then. Oh, bum.
Yeah, I wonder what player time is gonna look like after next week.
Some people have got like 100 hours already.
Really?
Yeah, wow. I think like some people in like the 50s and 60s. A lot of people have said that what they like about this game is how it's got that like one more mission thing, yeah. And the next thing they know it's like 2 in the morning, which was definitely my intention.
To cause people to be addicted?
Well, to be Moorish, like a bag of chips. And I'm not charging them extra money for being addicted. I'm not like a fucking gacha game.
Conan just says, game reminded me of at times of Yahtzee and Nick playing playthrough of Pulsar. I don't think I played Pulsar with you guys. Like, that was Jack and Marty.
I seem to recall I played with it with you at some point, didn't we? Or was that Sea of Thieves?
No, I played Sea of Thieves with you guys. I don't think I played Pulsar.
That's right, yeah. Because we were giving you shit for being the new boy when we were doing Sea of Thieves.
The new boy? What do you mean? I was shooting Marty's dog out of a cannon.
Yeah, but you were like, you hadn't been on the Pulsar streams, and then we were on Sea of Thieves,
Oh.
and so you were like the new one for that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kept getting drunk and shooting dogs out of cannons.
Not that job, thanks. Let's see if there's some better possibilities in the freight menu. No, I'm not heading that way. What else you got? Again, not really heading that way. I'm really looking to go like on the eastern side of the sector if you got anything like that.
Hannibal.
Ah, that's more like it. Of course, if I had upgraded my warp coils, I could jump 2 sectors at once, and there would be much more options for traversing the galaxy.
Much nerd talk there. Hannibal Lar, $2 says, if Hole is here, what happened to Eric and Bromide?
I don't like to think about it. I just wanted to reuse a character. I'm not saying he's like the exact same character, like continuity-wise, and like all the events of the first game he was in occurred before this game, and all the characters as well. So I don't know. He's just here in this universe, and the other characters aren't. How's that?
Gotta be an explanation for everything, Yahtzee. You know this. Video game stuff, everything has to be explained. Movies, TVs, everything.
Well, why don't From Software ever need to explain why Patch is in every game?
Because they have YouTubers to do it for them.
Alright, well, that was our first game, Starstruck Vagabond. Buy it if you like chill out work sims in space. And the next game I was hoping to try out was one just out today, I think. Just a second while I start it up.
Well, he's doing that. Sinu, $5 says, Yahtzee is a longtime viewer, seeing you now make your own game. I'm wondering what is your favorite ingredients for grilled cheese?
Well, the way I like to make the grilled cheese is that I'll usually have like a cheddar Gruyere mix in the middle. And as I'm frying it, I sprinkle grated parmesan on the outside.
Ooh.
Get a nice sort of crispy finish. Okay. So our next game is Nine Souls, a game which, slightly laughably, refers to itself as Tau Punk, whatever that is.
Do you know what game this developer made before this?
Astound me with your knowledge.
They made that devotion game that pissed off the Chinese government because they had a joke
these
about,
guys, yeah, Red Barrel, right?
Red Candle.
Red Candle.
Yeah. So thankfully, this game didn't get banned by the Chinese government. But do you remember why they got banned?
Because they had some pictures of the Chinese premier comparing him to Winnie the Pooh in that game. Yeah.
Yep. James Morgan donates $2. Says, any chance of Starstruck coming to Mac?
Not unless we get someone who specifically wants to port it to it. I've tried to port things to Mac before, and it's an absolute pain in the ass. Okay, so got a sort of Sekiro but with a furry cat thing so far, sort of vibe.
Yeah, KC was all about this game when he tried it for Steam Next Fest.
Oh yeah.
At least Tanner donated $5. Says, I'm 20 hours in and only have one crew member, addicted completionist, and I'm not mad about it.
Well, good.
Denmark donates $5. Says, now that Yahtzee's done playing Starstruck Vagabond, I'm gonna go play Starstruck Vagabond and leave y'all on in the background.
I encourage you to. It's specifically designed as a listen to podcast while you play a game. Now we've got a little girl playing a truncheon. Oh wait, it's Pokey from Earthbound.
I already love the art of this game.
Hey, isn't this just like the Monkey King from Journey to the West? How he was like stuck inside a mountain for a while? Is this a Journey to the West thing?
Could be.
Oh, well, priorities. Gotta blaze it. 420.
Have you broken your I guess your oversaturation of Souls games after another Crab's Treasure?
Well, that was a special case. Because it was, like, fun and not grim. I'm
Yeah, that
assuming
kind
this game...
of.
I mean, I know this game is ostensibly Souls-likey. Although, the main character's giving me very strong Hollow Knight vibes right now.
Yeah, chat's been saying this is a very much 2D Sekiro.
And Hollow Knight. Oh, there we go. Slash, 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 slash. Okay.
John donates $5 says, outside of survival horror, what's the maddest you ever got at media explaining something that didn't need explaining? Boy, you gotta dig deep in the back of your mind for that one.
The opening crawl of Dark City. Because the film is set up like the big reveal of the situation is a twist. But then they, for some God knows what reason, they added an opening crawl that tells you what it is.
Mine would be Rise of Skywalker. That entire movie is just an explanation for things that didn't need explaining.
Yeah, this is all pretty standard so far.
You're not even out of the tutorial.
I know. Just felt like I should comment. Jump, 3-hit combo, climb the ledge, jump some more.
Got video game mechanics. No, George Lucas. You will never get me to rewatch Rise of Skywalker, even though I own a copy of it on my shelf. It will stay closed, just like Jurassic World Dominion, so I can stare at it in contempt.
I haven't watched Rise of Skywalker, but I've been watching a lot of videos from this guy who does, like, writing advice on YouTube. Who does, like, good dialogue, bad dialogue comparisons. And he's been doing awful lot of... a lot of the videos I was watching was referencing the Star Wars sequel trilogy a lot.
Yeah.
It specifically referenced somehow Palpatine returned as the example of a bad prologue.
Whatchamacallit, some people are asking why I bought a copy. I don't know. I feel like I had to complete the trilogy. Oh.
You know, that's exactly why I went to see Revenge of the Sith in cinemas. I thought, well, I might as well. No, Revenge of the Sith was like, you know, the best of the prequel trilogy. It's like being the tallest dwarf.
Alright, yeah. I don't know. I like the prequel trilogy. I grew up with it.
Okay.
Memories of being a kid.
I mean, you're wrong. You're wrong.
It's a kids' movie.
Oh yeah, grappling hook. This is getting very Sekiro-y. I would have expected to like unlock that. Frankly.
Mandel says somehow Palpatine returned. Would be fine if they explained how later on in the movie. Well, if you haven't watched Star Wars: The Bad Batch yet, they try to answer that question, and then right before they answer it, they basically say, "Nah, it's not important." Just stop it.
What a way to troll the viewer. I mean, that's just obnoxious. It's like how in Sherlock, they had Sherlock come back to life after seemingly dying, and then they don't explain why, and then they make out that the viewers are the idiots for wanting to know why.
It's yeah, I mean, and it's so on the nose in the Bad Batch show that they just did, because it's Project Necromancy. Like, wonder what that's about.
It's not a very good code name, is it? In my view, a code name should in some way disguise the intention of the project. It's like if Operation Paperclip was called Operation Hire All the Nazi Rocket Makers. Have I got a map, by the way? Oh, I do. It's not filled in. Hey, I want that flower, apparently.
How does the game feel to control? Pretty responsive.
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be nice if I had a dodge roll, and... Oh, there it is. I've just been testing all the buttons. There it is.
What Souls game doesn't have a dodge roll? What is it?
Whee! Whee! Speaking of dodge rolls, have you watched this week's Fully Ramblematic, listeners? In which at one point I complained about V Rising's dodge roll having a 5-second cooldown. Just thought it was a good time to plug it.
You can change that.
Well, I don't...
You can get different rolls that do different abilities.
Well, I never found any different rolls.
Oh, you.
Okay, don't go in the water. Well telegraphed, game. Man, this game's taking ages to get going. Art style reminds me of Leica Age Through Blood a bit.
Gotta get you in that atmospheric mood.
That's a tautology. That's like saying tree of wood.
Yes. That's exactly what a Souls game would tell you and make it a big lore thing.
If you like.
Are you gonna play the Elden Ring DLC?
Probably not.
Oh,
I'm not really,
no.
as you know, I'm not really a DLC guy, and I never actually got around to finishing Elden Ring. I'd have to go back and play through the whole Elden Ring again before I could play the DLC. And I don't wanna.
Jack's gonna be upset with you.
Well, he'll be too busy playing Elden Ring, the DLC, won't he?
I remember when that game came out. Every time I got on a stream, he would pop up on Elden Ring. Every single time.
Yeah.
He had to, I don't know how much time he put into that game. He had to put at least 300 hours easily.
Well, he wrenched himself away eventually. I saw him playing Starstruck Vagabond this weekend.
Yep, I saw that too. Urban is 25 PLN says, I just run Starstruck Vagabond for the first time and noticed El Cheshire illustration on title screen. Pretty sure it should be illustration with a single L.
Look, I asked how he wanted to be credited. He told me, and I copy-pasted the text. So take it up with them.
Ha!
Boy, this is a nice village. I wonder when the villains will come and set fire to it. Place your bets, people. Evil warlord or bandits? Someone with a personal grudge against the main character, perhaps.
I feel like there's... Yeah, I kind of want more Soulsy games with like a direct baddie you gotta go after to get to.
Oh, I got a good video you should watch. The recent semi-emblematic episode. Screw villains, etc.
Did you ever give Rise of the Ronin a shot?
No, I didn't get around to that one. There's been plenty to keep me occupied lately.
Yeah. That one kinda has it.
Man, I heard this game was really parry-focused. I haven't parried shit yet.
SVS Guru 2000 donates €5. Says, have you heard that Llamas with Hats is getting an epilogue? Already finished the Kickstarter with over 200,000.
I don't even know what Llamas with Hats is.
I don't even know what that is either.
Okay. Head inside. Having dinner. Oh, why don't you talk more, protagonist? You're just like part of the family. Wait, what's that noise outside? Oh my goodness, it's bandits. Let's see how right I am.
Firebomb through the window, calling it now. Did you ever end up playing Devotion when it got reapproved?
Yeah, I played it before it was like taken off Steam.
Oh, that's right. What'd you think of it?
Pretty good for a walking sim.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it's very, very PT influenced.
I liked the first half of that game more than I liked the second half. The second half got very kind of outer worldly and artsy. And the first half was much more horror focused.
I think the horror has got much more impact if you are a dad.
Yeah, why? Why is that?
Because the plot is focused on
yeah, okay.
Yeah, on a dad and how things go to shit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, George Lucas. I did play Devotion 2 years ago. Did I do? Yeah, I did. Man, that was so long ago already. That was last October. I just did Amnesia the Bunker. And then we got... everything happened a month, 6 days later. Jeez.
What's all this?
That has flown by.
We've been contacted by science fiction character, by Wheatley, from Portal 2. And he's given us a secret mission or something.
Yeah, Speakeasy. Yeah, I streamed Devotion. Maybe was that part of last year's games? Man, I can't remember already. That's crazy.
Man, you can really hear what generic anime character voice the main character has, can't you?
I cannot.
We probably sound just like Rurouni Kenshin or something. Hey, not on dry grass. Trust me, I live in California.
The village hasn't gotten burned down yet.
Well, Christ knows why. The shit they're doing with those fireworks.
Is that what the plot of the story is going to be? They burned it down themselves?
Whoops. Well, I wouldn't have called that. There's a spider on my wall and it's crawling towards me. Stay in your lane, little spider.
Keep getting these, I don't know if you get these in your house, but I keep getting these, like, centipede-looking things.
No, my wife would murder them all if we got something like that.
Every time I see them, I freak out, and my dogs, like, start chasing them around, and I'm trying to capture them. Sean donates $5, says, would you ever allow fan games in your summer Patreon poll? Sure, plenty of Sonic fans would love to make you play the fan remake of Sonic 2006.
Oh, is that poll up now?
No, not yet.
Okay. Because we're going to put one up soon. I think at the moment it's just going to be suggest whatever game you want, and whatever gets the most number of suggestions will be added to a poll. But yeah, we are doing the thing where people on the highest Patreon tier get to vote on what game I do during the summer drought.
No, not just the highest Patreon tier. Spoilers.
Hey, these people are decapitating themselves. That's not on.
Oh shit. See that before I share what I was about to share.
Oh no, don't do that to our friend.
Are they sacrificing themselves to aliens?
I guess. Are we gonna stop them?
Ow.
Jesus.
For me to
Oh.
go.
Oh, no, we're gonna put a stop to it. We've got feelings after all. Oh, that's what we're doing. We're getting exiled for ruining the village's ceremony.
Ah. George Lucas says, "Look, Nick, they have jars on their heads. You gotta, nope. Burn the village down. Yeah, gotta take it all out." But yes, as Yahtzee was saying, summer game vote for Yahtzee's game that he reviews for the summer drought, chosen by our Patreon community.
Yes,
Will
last time we
be
did this, it was Chrono Trigger.
yeah.
Narrowly beating out Danganronpa, thanks to preferential voting system.
We'll be adding it to our $25 Patreon tier tomorrow. So anybody in the $25 and the $50 tier will be able to help vote on that game. Can't do it in the $10 tier, or we will never pick a game. There's thousands of you in there.
All right, now we're getting to it. Fucking finally.
Sandy, it's 15 Australian dollars, says, good day, Yachts. Just finished Leave the Galaxy. As it ended, I couldn't help thinking about your unfolding paper theory for games, but in reverse. The story kept folding back on itself. Loved it.
Glad you liked it. I never thought of it that way. Interesting.
And Blistered Soul, donates £2, says, reviewing focus in a drought. Backlog or indies?
I'd usually go with indies myself, because there's so much to choose from in the backlog. Whoosh. Okay, I need to get this parrying right. My button's a bit soft. That's more like it. What? Ew, it's meat.
Moderation thing. There we go.
Can we do drop attacks? Is that a thing we can do? Nope, turns out not.
Figure out the parry.
Okay, I don't really get how this RB attack works. You use a talisman on someone and then... You're supposed to press and hold RB after a successful parry. Oh. I didn't pick up on that.
I just really like the art style of this game. Maybe not so much the art style, just like all the moving stuff in the background is pretty neat.
Hmm. Wait, why are we doing the tutorial now?
Or the first time you had to parry attacks.
You don't attack or what? I need to parry it, apparently. Oh, I see. Parrying just gives you another talisman to use. You don't necessarily have to do one right after the parry.
What's the talisman? Is that your, like your Estus flask?
No, it's just your secondary attack.
Hmm.
Like you parry, and then you put a talisman on someone, and if you keep holding down that button, then it does extra damage.
Sorry, goes Max barking at the guy cutting my lawn. He's fine with it until the guy drives up towards the window, and then Max is like, "Nuh-uh."
Okay.
Fine, buddy. Come here. Come here.
Dodge.
Baby.
Excuse me. Mate!
The growing on you at all, or is this too long a tutorial again?
I think I need a little more time with it.
Yeah.
I think the problem I always had with Sekiro is that the whole parry focus made the combat system inflexible. I would tend to be more of a dodge person than a parry person in a Souls-like.
I'm sure you've heard it before, but Sekiro, like, almost treated like a rhythm game. Yeah, that's what took me forever to stop dodging and just start parrying in that game.
Yeah.
That's why you might like Rise of the Ronin then, because that's basically what you're asking for. It's got like the Sekiro parry combat, but you can also dodge. Unfortunately, it's got so much open world filler crap that just makes me not want to play it. Even though I kind of like it.
Man, I kind of wonder why you need a basic attack then, if that parry talisman thing works so well.
Nami Dusher, $5 says, Yahtzee, would you ever like to work with Vanillaware for a 2D art style game? They did Odin Sphere, 13 Sentinels, and Dragon's Crown.
I don't know, I mean... Why do you ask?
You offering him a job somewhere? As if you are.
Just smoke a quick bowl.
Is that the health?
I mean, when I make my own games, because I'm very much a solo auteur game developer, I just like to work with a publisher on like porting and localization. I don't really care who they are as long as they can do that.
Fungus Finder donates $2. Says, also thank you for making Starstruck Vagabond playable one-handed.
You know, I toyed with asking Il Cheshire to do some extra art assets for after you've romanced a character. That's just their head and shoulders, but without them wearing any clothes. For, like, the post-coital moment. But I thought, no, let's not overly encourage people.
Thanks for not taking him up on that, Elchester. Sure, it's not what you meant, Fungus Finder. Sure, it's not. can't walk it back now. You should have kept that. You should have put that in your message. You paid for it. The public record now.
Alright, well, got sick of waiting for him to attack.
I'm betting this kind of reminds me of The Last Faith a little bit.
Man, I can't even keep track of all the fucking Souls likes in my head anymore.
Oh yeah, well there's a billion of them. I might. Is this one a Metroidvania?
Hey, you just walk straight into that laser, you dumbass. I think he did.
Let's see what this one.
Man, Helldivers has got a lot to answer for.
Why?
Suddenly it's making everyone do these little arrow sequences games.
Yeah, this one's another Metroidvania. I wish it would just make more 2D side-scrolling action games and stop making them all Metroidvanias.
Oh, well, the map still kind of sucks.
For this one?
I'd say so. Is this a shortcut? I kind of likes my health potions back. Yeah, might as well go back to the checkpoint.
Jason Two-Door says, what's the difference from 2D action and Metroidvania? I just like I'm talking more like a linear, 2D action game, so that I don't have to do all the backtracking and stuff like that.
Well, Metroidvania specifically is like open world 2D platformers.
Yeah. So I want more Mario likes. Yeah. I guess that could be the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a virtue to linear mission-based stuff that I've been missing lately.
Yeah, and that might be the reason I just enjoyed Hellboy 2 more than you or Frost, clearly, because I was like, man, this is an 8-hour or 6-hour game or 5-hour game, however fucking long it is, that I can just sit down, enjoy, and be done with it.
Well, if that's what you want, then sure. I mean, I appreciate short games, but that's just because I'm a reviewer and it frees up time in my week so I can do other shit.
Yeah. Well, I tend to, I think at this point, I tend to play a lot more of the AAA open world slop than you do.
I dispute that.
Oh yeah?
I'd play all the AAA open world slop, feels like.
You didn't play Rise of the Ronin.
Was that AAA?
Yeah. Published by Sony and built by Team Ninja.
Oh. I guess they've been busy lately.
Yeah, they made the Wukong and then this one. Oh no, they didn't make Wukong. Wolong. Wukong is the other one. Sir George Lucas asks, Nick, would you say Stellar Blade has a Souls-like combat? Not really. I think it's more of a, as Yahtzee would put it, a spectacle action flavor.
Hmm. Ape men, eh? Unlike us, we're an adorable kitty witty. Adorable alien kitty witty.
Yeah, so is this game mixing? This game seems to be mixing like a lot of sci-fi with like
This game mixes a fuck of
anime.
a lot. It's mixing Sekiro, it's mixing Hollow Knight, it's mixing a little bit of like it aged through blood.
I think they did a Kickstarter for this, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they did.
There's that spider again.
Just watching out of the corner of your eye.
We won't have problems if you don't crawl all over me.
What is Nine Souls? A journey of Asian fantasy inspired by Sekiro, Hollow Knight, and Katana Zero.
Oh, I would have said that as well. Damn it. When do I get points? I haven't got any points yet. I almost forgot about the grappling hook. Oh, it's one of these dudes.
Azra's Orange says, is the spider joining the second wind crew? I think he's going to be joining Yahtzee's boot before too long.
Prioritizing targets. Shit. Ow. Don't mind me, just gonna smoke a bowl. Man, it's not that difficult to parry in this game. Timing seems very generous. As long as you keep your head in the game.
Boss just yet.
Oh, I thought that was a boss.
The one you... I don't know where you're at, because my stream is delayed, obviously, but...
It had boss music.
Oh. Yeah, but did it have the big giant health bar?
I guess not.
Then not a boss.
Okay.
You should know this game design language.
I know the language of Souls likes.
SGS Guru 2000 donates €5, says, would be cool if those talismans had splash area of effect damage.
I'm assuming there's an upgrade for that.
No. Oh yeah, you're right, that map does not show you anything. But if it's inspired by Hollow Knight, maybe you have to get like things that reveal the map in that way. There are the little details.
Man, I'm out of bowls to smoke. What will I do? Always prioritize them ranged enemies. Oh, bum. Let's try that again.
Fungus Finder with the correct advice. That's the worst. You don't want to be out of bowls.
Quite. Well, what will you eat your cereal out of? Man, I hate those guys.
Exploding enemies in any game drive me nuts. Never liked them.
I like them in Serious Sam because they're very well telegraphed.
Yeah. I remember the first game that they started to really annoy me in was, I think, Gears of War 1 with the emulsion wretches. Just got wrecked.
I think they're fine if they're in like open environments so you can see them and prioritize them as a target. But if they just like run around the corner and get you, what fucking chance did you have? Yeah. Okay, you can like go from the 3-hit combo to the talisman slap. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can interrupt pretty much anything with a parry, by the looks of it.
I want to see when you get to a boss, see how difficult it is. Oh, you can interrupt. Yeah, like I said, I'm delayed, but you can interrupt that guy that was charging you.
Are we near a boss?
I don't know. Gotta be though. You gotta hit that boss that you can't beat. In true Souls-like fashion. Sheriff Bruce Lee donates $10. Says Yachts. Would you agree to a fully rebelmatic style review of Starstruck Vagabond with a substitute delivering your style of snarky quips and jabs at you and your work? If so, who would you pick to do it?
Donkey, I guess. Another YouTuber that people have compared to me a lot.
There was that,
What's that guy who does all the MMOs? Josh Stride Hayes? He sounds a little bit like me.
when we, excuse me. When everything went down with the, escapists, I can't remember the YouTuber's name now, but somebody made, like, a video basically about that whole situation in your style. I think I shared it in the Slack.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Damn it.
I'm just glad, I'm glad the people that were, like, messing with your voice with AI have not really taken off anywhere.
You can't predict my weird switches of emphasis. Yeah. AI will never be able to do that.
SVS Guru 2000 donates €2. Says Max Orr should do it. I don't know who that is. You know who that is?
Not really. I mean, no. Very distinct colour scheme this game's got. Various shades of orangey brown and some bright teal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look what I found. It's a boss.
There we go.
Ah. Ah.
Not so easy to parry now, huh?
Actually, he's quite easy to parry.
Oh, shit. Just wait till the second stage. That I have no idea what he's gonna do.
Smoke a bowl, smoke a bowl. Oop. Blimey. The hitbox on that attack. You've impressed me, sir.
Ooh.
Does he have a second phase? Guess not. Yeah, first try, bitch.
Guys, he's got those pro gamer skills.
Wait, he dropped something. Come back, Lift. I thought the contextual button press was to pick up the thing. Please still be there. In the Ape Man facility. Oh, thank Christ. See, it was the exact same contextual prompt, but like 1 inch to the right. and I had to walk like 6 feet away for it to pop. Okay, so that's like a badge or something? Like a Hollow Knight badge, funnily enough.
These streams that go to 5 o'clock always get me. Always get the yawns, right? Those last like 15 minutes.
3 o'clock from my perspective.
Yeah.
Over just in time to get a little bit of work done before dinner.
Has anybody in chat been playing this one? Are you guys enjoying it?
So Sam Vimes SA wants us to know that yes, this game does basically straight up has the Hollow Knight badge system. Or as some of us prefer to call it, the Paper Mario badge system.
Common Ninja does sends $5. Says is that guy who reviewed Art of Theft as some punctuation still around. He might need work. He didn't burn down his house as threatened.
Oh Christ, that was like 50 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of bouncing off this plot.
Has there ever been?
I mean, maybe it's because I'm streaming, but I haven't really been absorbed what we're doing or why we're doing it. But maybe that's part of the, you know, in medias res nature of the plot.
Has there been any Souls-ish game that has like hooked you by its plot?
Another Crab's Treasure.
Yeah.
And I guess Dark Souls, but only after I'd like done my research.
Right. And Sniffing McGee, like, I don't know, like, I know everybody fights about Sekiro being a Souls game, but I mean, that one's got more of a direct narrative than any of the other games.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, you flat out have, like, a rival and, like, a prince you're trying to save and shit.
Yeah.
And you don't have a fully customizable protagonist, like basically every other From Software game.
I did like, I think the world lore of Lords of the Fallen definitely hooked, like, was the easiest for me to understand, and I enjoyed that a lot. It's like Elden Ring, I don't know, Elden Ring world is super cool, but there's just so much to go through.
What's this thing? Something that responds to an item I don't have, I suspect. Oh, that's right. The map is fucking useless. Where do I go?
I'm still thinking you gotta get like a map key or something.
Where do I go? In here?
Or was I invested in Pinocchio's story in Liza P? Not really.
Nah.
I might have been if they had done more with the, what was it, the hunters? Because like they kind of tried to have a plot there where like they made them your rivals, but eh. Because especially when after you kill the first one, they're like they want their revenge on you, but then you only see them really when you fight.
Another thing I don't have the thing for yet. Do I have like an objective marker or something? Something that tells me what the fuck I'm doing? Yeah, they're definitely being a bit hiding behind the fan with the plot, aren't they? A mysterious Fangshi. I mean, you don't even know what a fucking Fangshi is, and this is a mysterious one. That's like double mysterious. Oh, now this door's locked. which I guess means this is the right place to be. Oh, it's a grappling hook. I just noticed.
Is that without in that other room? No, that was like a big green button.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was yet.
Ooh, a thing. Oh, you got a drone. That's new. I'll be interested to see what utility it has beyond going in one highly specific kind of door.
Yes, sir, Sam. That's what I was thinking too. Good design. They said good design preventing you from leaving an important room so you don't start exploring the map and getting confused without your new toy. So, the last Faith was like the last big Metroidvania I played, and that definitely could have used that.
Hey, we have Wheatley at home. So there was a council that we used to be part of. Is that it? And the ape men are a lower caste of society that we have sympathies for, and then we blah, blah. I don't know. Well, now it's being... God, I've forgotten what it's called. That other game I played where you have a grappling hook.
That's a lot of different games.
You know... fuck me. You know, where you're looking for your daughter's killer, and your daughter's actually alive, but your memories have been changed.
A Metroidvania? Bionic Commando?
No, it was a level by level thing. It had a dumb name. Started with this, I think.
Is this something you played recently?
Tsunabe, thank you, Hugh.
Oh. Boy. Could have like Cyberpunk, Ninja.
Well, there's always been like a through line from Cyberpunk to Ninja.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even in like Snow Crash, the main character uses a samurai sword.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not a ninja. That's a samurai.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Pedant. I mean, ninjas technically aren't supposed to dress up in black pajamas either, but, you know, culture changes. The original ninjas were just peasant farmers. They disguised themselves as farmers because they were spies. And it was easier to go unnoticed next to a farmer if you're also dressed as a farmer than if you're dressed in fucking black pajamas.
You'll have your chance to learn all about samurai and shinobis and ninjas in Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out later this year.
Oh, are they paying us now? Well, at least they've got deep pockets.
Clothes was this theater stagehand thing? That's not what the last samurai told me. Wasn't those ninjas were wearing black clothes and killed everybody on the theater stage?
Well, the story goes that the whole black thing for ninjas thing came about because in traditional Japanese theatre, you'd have like dudes dressed in black all standing in the background who were supposed to be like not part of the story. They were just like, you know, the scenery. And every now and again a character would be suddenly killed by one of the black dudes. And when that happened, it was because the dude was killed by a ninja, by a mysterious assassin. And so the association arose that ninjas, mysterious assassins dressed in black pajamas, but it's really just because of the theatrical tradition. As I say, if you want to be an effective assassin stroke spy, you just dress like everyone else.
You have a double life we don't know about here?
Yes, I am secretly an assassin.
Well, you wear black every day.
That's to lure people into a false sense of security.
That's what I think. Yeah, I'm gonna be checking
only,
behind me every time we go to a conference now.
Well, only the most absurdly unprofessional assassin would actually wear black all day, so we must be safe around this person.
Alright, once you lose the rest of your hair and I find a barcode on the back of your head, I'm gonna be a little bit more concerned.
Don't need to shave my head, I got a bald spot.
Is there a barcode there?
You'll have to look and find out. If you can get close enough.
I'm not worried about getting close enough. You're just too tall, I can't see.
And that's my secret.
Yeah.
I also wear a hat when I go out.
Yeah, Jonathan Rossi says, this and Yahtzee, you do talk about killing people on most of these streams. Nick might be onto something. Listen, I think he put it out in plain day. He's going to take me out into Helldivers.
Let's just say I get bored easily, and have, like most people who get bored easily, have put a lot of thought into how I would dispose of a corpse.
Listen, I live in the Midwest. I'm too far for you to put in the effort.
Okay, we're getting distracted from the game now.
Yo, Mohan says, Nick, you're being destroyed on Reddit right now. I don't know what that means. If it's just people being mean to me again, I don't really care. James Morgan, Super Chat $2, says, also apparently ninjutsu is a modern invention.
Yep. But I mean, you know, the Japanese love to play up the sort of mythic image of the ninja.
As we just grew 2000 done is €2, says modern ninjas wear Boeing lanyards. Oh jeez. You might not be wrong about that with current events.
Slice. Slice. Slice.
Ah. I see who you are. Bye-bye. The angry boy made it into the chat.
Ah. Well, we do seem to get a lot of those.
We do.
What have I told you about touching the poop, Nick?
Dropkick it.
Like I said, like, listen to someone who's been on the internet for basically as long as you've been alive. Point out the poop, laugh at the poop, admire the poop from afar, never, ever touch the poop.
Sometimes kicking it's kind of fun.
And then but then you have to spend the weekend cleaning your shoes.
That's true. You hear that, Max? Quit leaving your poop everywhere. You got 2 minutes, so I want to know how are you feeling about this?
Well, that's hardly fair. This is what the edited video is for. I need some time to formalize my thoughts, but my, initial instinct is that this game sort of cribs off everything and their mum, and as such struggles to find its own identity. I'm finding it a little difficult to engage with the plot or the sense of what I'm doing or where I'm supposed to go. Core gameplay is fine. Core gameplay is solid enough.
You're a little iffy on the pairing at the start, but it seems like you fought that first boss and it kind of clicked pretty quick.
Yeah, it's as I say, the timing's pretty generous.
Mm.
No, I don't. This
There wasn't difficulty options at the start, were
might have been. I kind of zone out through that phase of the game.
there? Well, it's in the menu.
Well, I suppose we could easily find out.
Yeah.
Options, gameplay. Oh, I think they had like normal mode and they had story mode.
Ah, okay.
So this is the harder difficulty that we're playing now.
Good. I always get a laugh when somebody joins a stream late and they're like commenting on stuff that happened like an hour and 30 minutes ago.
Well, that's how
You see them
VODs
pop
work
up.
these days.
Yeah, I keep seeing them pop up and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, you're at the very start of the stream.
Oh, give. Can I give presents to the little boy? I wouldn't say it's a shitty game. I just think it struggles to stand out. I'm probably going to completely forget what it's called.
Hmm.
9 Souls. I remembered it.
How can you forget it? It's got souls in the title.
Okay. Well, I'll ask me again in a week what this game was called, and I guarantee you I'll have forgotten. So we give presents to the little boy, eh?
Anthony Rossi, only $20 for a super chat. Says just trying to hit a nice round $3,500 monthly goal. Thank you
If you
very
like.
much.
If you like. Quick, someone donate like 3 cents just to screw with him.
Can I help you, Barry? Jeez. Blister Soul says this is Dev's second game. I think they've made.
It's their third game, isn't it? Because they've
Third
made
game,
Devotion, and there was a game before that.
Uh,
It was like a 2D adventure game. What was that called? It was also a D word, like deviation or something like that.
yeah. Detention.
Detention?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
'cause-
page right now. Detention, Devotion, and now 9 Souls.
Well, they sort of broke the streak there, didn't they?
They did.
Guess they were hoping to get away from the Chinese government controversy. And they did it by making a game where everything's really Chinese. Said, look, we like Chinese things now.
Eric, 20 Ars says Argentinian inflation to the help. I think you got your 3 cents. I think he literally donated maybe 3 cents.
They're Taiwanese, aren't they? Red
Yes.
barrel. Yes.
Red Candle.
Yes. Red
Red
candle.
barrels make Outlast.
I know. I keep getting those two confused. Anyway, that'll be it for that. Well, thanks for watching Yahtzee Tries. There'll be an edited video on Sunday compiling the highlights from this stream and last week's, and with my little mini reviews. Remember to watch this week's Fully Ramblematic, which you can see on YouTube now. It was on the subject of V Rising, which some people seem to like. What else we got coming up this week, Nick? Big thing tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, come on over to Second Wind at 10 a.m. Central tomorrow for our 6-month celebration stream. We're pushing hard for more people to join up on the Patreon.
Yeah,
as those things go through ebbs and flows of subscribers as time goes on, so we're trying to push the momentum.
Like I keep saying, you got to keep managing it like a bonsai tree, or everyone just forgets.
Yeah.
So yes, it's our fundraiser stream.
Yeah, so join us over on Patreon if you haven't yet. If you're in the $25 tier, we'll be adding the vote for Yahtzee's Summer Drought game into that perk tomorrow. And then we'll be kicking off the stream tomorrow with a bunch of announcements of upcoming new things, showing some teasers for things. If you've been waiting for the Adventures Now remasters, you'll get a first look at that.
Ooh. When's
And
season
then
4 coming out, Nick?
good. You'll find out tomorrow, but it'll be a bit.
Yeah, we need to get all the remakes out first.
Yes.
So it might
And
be a
then
while yet.
yeah, we'll be streaming for 9 hours tomorrow, starting off with Fall Guys and then moving on to Gang Beasts. So if you would like to play with us, we'll be playing with the community. And then later in the day, we'll be playing golf with your friends of the community as well. So have those nabbed and ready to go.
9
Keeper Days,
hours? Fuck a
9 hours. Keeper
duck.
Days. Keeper Days says, will the stream tomorrow be on both YouTube and Twitch? No, just YouTube, because we're doing the baton passing thing again, where I stream for the first 3 hours and then we hand it off to KC for Dokapon, and then hand it back to me.
Well, molester mallard.
And then, of course, Firelink tonight in 1 hour, so I'm going to get off here and go eat, and then we'll be back to do
All right.
the podcast on Sony's weird PR kerfuffle where they screwed over their own director in their own blog post.
As for me, I'm off for the day. I'll see you all tomorrow when I'm joining in with the Gang Beasts and later on with the First Class Trouble. See you all then. Bye. Buy my game
Bye, everybody.
and my book and everything. Shit, where's my streaming software? There it is. Bye-bye, everyone.